Okay, so we've gone through the concept of the power property of exponents. Now let's see a couple examples and how to apply it. Here's the first one. Okay, so applying the power property, and we might have to use some more properties for these problems as we go. Step one, as always, identify exponential expressions with the same base. Now, in this one, I do not see exponential expressions with the same base. I have a 3 to the second and 2 to the negative fourth. So they don't have the same base here. Okay, well, let's go to the next step. Determine which property of exponents to apply. Well, in this particular example, I see that I do have a power being raised to a power. This 7 on the outside of this exponential expression, let me clear that and highlight it instead. This power on the outside of this exponential expression is raising the inside of the parentheses to that 7th power. So let me rewrite this expression a little bit larger so we can see what's happening. This 7 is going to be distributed to both of the powers inside the parentheses. Remember, whenever we are raising a power to a power, we multiply the exponents. So this is what I end up with for the first expression. 3 to the second power. Let's go ahead and show that that's being multiplied times 7. Then times 2 to the negative 4, and that is being multiplied also by 7 because I have a power being raised to another power. And then now we just simply multiply and see what we end up with. 3 to the second power, 2 times 7 is going to give us 14, 3 to the 14th power, times negative 4 times 7, negative 28. So here we have 2 to the negative 28th power. And that's it. That's simplified. I can't go any farther because the 3 is a different base than the 2. Also, as a reminder, some teachers in high school might not like this answer. They might like you to write it as a positive exponent, but we just haven't learned that yet. And mathematically, this is also correct. Let's look at the second example. Now I've got to double check which bases do I have that are the same. And in fact, they're all 2. Every one of the bases are 2, so I can simplify all of these. And in fact, I missed an important direction. I didn't read what it's telling me to do. It says evaluate. Evaluate is different than simplify. Evaluate tells me to give a value, right? If we look at the word evaluate here, it has the word value inside of it. So I need to be able to give an actual number value for this expression when I'm done. Well, to do that, let's simplify it first. Let's start with the numerator. Now, the numerator, I see I have an exponent with a power being raised to the 5th. So this 5 is again going to be distributed to both of these exponent terms. So let's write that after it's been expanded. 3 times 5, that's going to give me now to the 15th power, times 2. 4 times 5 is to the 20th power now. And then that 2 to the 33rd, I didn't really do anything with it, so let's just leave it as 2 to the 33rd. Now, if anybody wanted to add the powers together inside of this exponential expression first, that will work, and I'll show you how it will work at the end after this problem. But both ways are correct. Let's now multiply these. I see that I have multiplication in between these 2 exponents with a base of 2. So multiplication, I think add the powers. Let's go ahead and add the powers here. 2 to the 15th times 2 to the 20th is going to give me 2 to the 35th power over 2 to the 33rd. All right, so you see I simply added the 15 and 20 together because when I see multiplication, I know to add the powers. Final step, let's combine the bases of 2. I see division. That reminds me, division of exponential expressions, subtract the powers. All right, so let's subtract them. 35 minus 33. I'm just going to go ahead and give myself a little note here what I'm doing. I'm subtracting the powers. I end up with 2 to the 2nd power, but I'm not done. I need to evaluate it. So let's go ahead and give my evaluation. 2 to the 2nd power simply means 2 times 2. It is 4. That is my answer. That is what we are looking for. I have evaluated it, given a value, rather than this would be simplified. Now, I did tell you that there was another way to do this, simplify this by simplifying what's inside of the inside of the parentheses first. So let's go ahead and see that as well. 2 to the third times 2 to the fourth. I see multiplication, so I know to add the powers together. So I'm going to end up with 2 to the 7th power, still being raised to the 5th, divided by 2 to the 33rd. Hopefully you can see what's about to happen, and then we're going to get to the same exact place as the other one. I'm now going to multiply these together. Power being raised to a power, I see, okay, power raised to a power means multiply the exponents. 7 times 5 is 35. I end up with 2 to the 35th power over 2 to the 33rd power. And we can see that I'm going to end up with the same exact result as last time. So it does not matter the order that we do these. In fact, whatever way is easiest, that's the way you should go about it. Okay. Next video is going to be on the zero property and negative properties of exponents.